Peace and serenity. Peace and serenity. Peace is the opposite of anxiety. Serenity is just basically saying that you are in a state of peace. You know, you're in a state of happiness, joy. You're content. You're not anxious. You're not upset. You're not angry. You're not contentious. Your peace and your state of serenity is one of the most valuable things that you have. Uh, because without that, you could have a lot of things in the world, but if you don't have peace, very tough to enjoy life. And some people who claim they value peace, they value drama more than peace. I had some people tell me that when they had got basically trolled in life, however you want to say it, they decided to retreat for their own peace and serenity. Yet they partake in drama and they bring contentious to other people. And so I try to let things slide to a certain extent because I don't like to I don't like to engage in conflict. Never have. But certainly if you don't stand up for yourself at a certain point, conflict continues. I remember that in middle school. I was very shy when I was young. Middle school, I started to grow out of it. But I remember somebody was bullying me. And I was just let it go. And it got worse and worse and worse. And then eventually, I spit in the guy's face and there was an issue. And I wasn't trying to be a super tough guy. And I was certainly immature at times, but I never tried to be like a super tough guy. But what I learned through several experiences is that people will steal your peace and serenity, even if you're not bothering them. And so I've applied that to my life throughout my journey, whether it's my personal life, professional life, YouTube, creative life. And what I found is a lot of people are disingenuous when they say they value peace, but they still partake in drama. And they still cause conflict. And a lot of trolls that I've met, they claim to be like these avengers, like people that are trying to protect the overall good. So they're going to cause conflict to ensure that peace and harmony is in the world. But the reality is they're not at peace with themselves. And the reality is they love drama more than they love peace. And they intentionally seek out drama. And I've tried many times in my life to avoid it. Okay, because I know you can't win with these type of people. Even my father was somewhat like that. He could be very contentious when talking about politics. He could just have a lot going on in his mind because he was very particular. And as I got older, I said, I'm just going to let him be because that's how he is. I accept it. I don't have to spend a lot of time with him. I try to show respect because he did some things for me. But it seemed like the more and more I would let things slide, the more and more he would progressively think he can say whatever he wants to me or demand whatever he wants. And I'm not talking about necessarily in an abusive way, but I am saying in an abusive way over time, whether it manifested into emotional abuse or physical abuse. And so eventually I said, look, cut the shit. I said, I'm an adult. I'm trying to find common ground with you. And if we can't find common ground, look, it's over. And then as soon as I did that, there was a lot of spite. And that's when I said, you know what, I made the right decision. And again, it's in every way. In my professional life, I certainly try to avoid conflict because you cannot make money. And that's what a job is, guys. However you want to cut it, it's about getting a paycheck. Why? Because that's how you feed yourself. And so there's been plenty of times where I tried to avoid drama. Sometimes you cannot avoid it and you have to speak up, but there's certainly a way in your professional life that's different than your personal. And you have to go through a certain protocol, whether it's with HR or your manager. And you can't be a crybaby. I mean, look, if you're a contentious crybaby at home, I saw those type of people in the workforce too. They they wouldn't even like it when it was peaceful in the office. They would cause conflict. They would cause strife. They like drama. And then eventually, when they get in trouble, when they get disciplined, when they get wrote up, when they get let go, then all of a sudden, now they want to go lawsuit crazy, or it's everyone else's fault. But look, they knew what they were doing. They're not stupid. And on YouTube, I've met people that left comments, some of the nicest comments you ever heard. And then like a couple comments later or a couple days later, they say some of the nastiest things ever. And I try to let it slide. I say, maybe this person has a bad day, but maybe they're just mentally unstable. And I don't think they value peace and serenity. I think maybe they want to, but I think they are not willing to walk away from drama. Okay. And I don't like, and I don't respect anyone, okay, who talks to me the way they don't want other people to talk to them. So that's why I had a problem. I knew a lot of people that voted for Trump. Some of people in my personal life, some professional, some whatever. And I know them. I've seen them interact in life. And I know they would never allow someone to talk to them like Trump talks to some people. They would never allow it. They would go crazy. But in one sense, they love the fact that Trump tells it how it is. And I like that fact. And I'm not saying he's a bad president. I'm just trying to make the point here. This is the type of mind. And so they love that, tell it how it is. But when someone tells them how it is, they hate it. And they get irate. So I find that very interesting. They want someone to talk to them like Obama, but they want to vote for Trump. They want you to be more compassionate, but they want to raise hell on other people. And it's not about politics. It's about a mindset here. It's about a mindset of, do people really want peace and serenity, and how much do you value it? And what actions do you take? Who do you keep in your life? Who you keep in your life it's all about peace and serenity. There's no book. There's no you could do yoga all you want. You could do all that stuff. And I see some hot girls doing yoga, and I like yoga. Anything that's active is good. But look, if you got a contentious husband, okay, and he's a political junkie, you can go to yoga all day long. You got to come home to an asshole. And that's not going to be good for your mental well-being. You value peace in your life. You value peace in your life, and because you don't want to work, you don't want to deal with drama, you got to let anyone talk to you however you want online. Because you need their support for whatever reason, self-confidence or revenue. It's not good. I really, I examine myself. I'm certainly not perfect. I certainly like to have a good time, and I certainly like to. I have a point that if someone crosses it, I got no problem saying, look, I'm not going to take your shit. But not in a hurtful way. And again, in a way, not that I'm trying to hurt them, I'll walk away from them. But I find it very interesting, people who say they value peace and serenity, they're lawsuit happy. They like law. They sue their own family members. They claim they got gypped out of an inheritance. They want revenge. They want to see people fail. I know for sure there's some people out there, they want to see downfall. They want to see failure. Because they go, oh yeah, this guy thinks he's good, let's see him fail. And for me, like even people like I don't think about them enough to wish harm on them or wish failure. And so these are my thoughts and how I look at people and how I build the confidence to get people out of my life. Not hurt people, but get people out of my life. How do you ensure peace and serenity? There's got to be a protocol. There's got to be a standard in your life on who's allowed in your life and what type of character and action. And if they've got a mental, emotional, whatever type of disability, that's fine. There's grace. But there's no green flag to start to treat people badly. You don't get a green flag. Because if you can't be somewhat civil, then there has to be some type of measures taken where you ensure your peace and serenity. Because if you're sacrificing your peace and serenity for someone else, you're basically saying you're going to be in a state of chaos and anarchy. And that's when the inmates run the insane asylum. That's when the tail wags the dog. And that's the opposite of peace and serenity. That's a psychopath running the show. And I've dealt with some psychopaths on YouTube, and that's what they do when they get a bunch of fake profiles. They come in here and say, "I own this live chat. I own this," because they want to run it. That's their desire: chaos and anarchy. Because there's no peace in their mind. There's no value of peace. There's no goal. I always say, guys, you got to have a goal: financial goal, emotional goal, whatever goal. You know, do we meet all of our goals? No. There's a lot of failure in life, guys, and failure is painful. I understand that. But when you have a goal, hopefully, you aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you're amongst the stars. You get progressively better. Peace of mind is priceless. I love that Drive says that, and I agree with that. And I'm telling you right now, the number one thing that will bring disharmony is the wrong person in your life. Relationships are the number one cause of stress. I've met many people, as painful as it is, they've gotten a divorce. Why? Because they said, Sam, I'm going to lose 50% of everything I own financially, but I'm going to gain my peace of mind. And that's priceless. Good to see you. Queen, I'm going to still call you Queen. She got another profile. It's called Petty Dog. Queen, I love you all my heart. I really do, and I appreciate you. Milano, good to see you, brother. Shout out to you and Emilio. I may go to, Milano, there's a La Mesa RV in Sanford, close to Orlando. There's one in Port St. Lucie, and then there's also one in Orlando. The one in Orlando, in Sanford, they have a Corrado 2018, listed for about $54,000. So we'll see. I may go take a look at that tomorrow. We'll see, brother. How are you, man? How's you and Emilio? Hope you're doing good, brother. Let's take a hydration break, guys. Please, guys, if you like these videos, click the thumbs up button, share the video, leave a comment, show some love. Hey, Queen, I love you too. Let's read some live comments. I'll keep talking about peace and serenity. Paid Dog, yeah, Milano. I love the Drive says, peace, be still. Jesus quote. Jesus was all about peace, but there were scriptures where he took the table and threw it up when religious people were basically, treating the church like the marketplace or whatever. And Jesus was anti-religion. He was a Jewish man. A lot of the Jewish leaders didn't like him because it was preaching more grace than religious law. He wasn't about eye for an eye. Now, there's some things I may disagree with Jesus. Like, if someone hit me in the face, would I turn the other cheek? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I would call the authorities. I would self-defend. So I'm not going to sit here and be disingenuous. I believe in Jesus, and I believe in the context of his message. And I'm thankful for him, thankful for the teachings. But I have to take everything in context. I have to think for myself. There's a scripture that Jesus said that you're supposed to do better things than him. They said, you're good. He said, who's good? I'm not good. No one's truly good. Only God's good. That's true. Peace is a blessing, man. My favorite part of the Catholic Church, I was brought up Catholic. I'm 100% Italian. And then I really seek to learn the Bible. I went to a non-denominational church for 10 years. That was a blessing, and I'm appreciative of it. Then I had to get out of that too. But one of my parts that I really loved, my favorite part of the Catholic Church, was towards the end of the Mass, after you get the Eucharist, which is the bread to signify the body of Christ, the sacrifice. Basically, religious leaders killed Jesus because he was a threat to them. So they basically went to the Roman government and said, look, this guy's causing problems, okay? He's causing chaos, and he's teaching that there's other kings other than the Roman Empire, okay? And the Roman Empire said, this guy's really not doing that, and he thinks he's king, but it don't matter. He's a poor guy. He's a carpenter. He's no one. They didn't really care. They viewed Jesus as no threat. But the religious leaders cared because he basically taught that you really don't need a bunch of religious priests or rabbis. Pretty much, you could have your own relationship with God. You could hang out with prostitutes. You could do different things that once were taboo. And so, like they say, you're gonna mess up our whole system. We got a whole system here. People look up to us for guidance, and if they don't need us, then there's no system. And I've seen some people in Christianity like that. I met a guy in Marco Island when I was at a Starbucks over the winter. Marco Island in Naples, Florida, on the west coast, southwest, one of my favorite parts of Florida. I was on Marco Island, and I was at the Starbucks on the island, and there was a guy that came in there, and there's a lot of them down in Florida because it's a southern state, and a lot of, shades of Christianity. A lot of people do publicly They publicly pray in Starbucks. And I think that's a total disgrace because the scriptures say specifically, Jesus said it, never to pray in public. That you should pray with, with the door closed and no one should see you. So they don't even know the scriptures. Their heart is right, because I used to have a friend like that, and I appreciated him praying, but I always used to feel uncomfortable. There's a scripture that says, never pray in public and never let people know you're fasting. And I had a lot of friends that were into the Muslim faith. They always let me know when they were on Ramadan, which is like they're fasting. But I know they don't believe in Jesus as their savior, but they believe in Jesus as a prophet. But I guess they skipped over that part too, where Jesus said, don't let people know you're fasting. And the Christians skipped over the part where they said, Jesus said, don't let people see you pray in public. So they skip over parts. People do whatever they want. I'm not mad at them. But the bottom line was, I was at Marco Island, and this guy was, it was like, I don't want to say praying in public, but he was expressing his faith in public. And then, of course, we started talking. He sat right next to me. I tell you, I park in the middle of a parking lot for peace and serenity. Psychopath parks right next to me. Same thing with Starbucks. But I accept it. I'm out in the public a lot. I'm a nomad. So I'm in Starbucks, and this guy, he comes next to me. And, we start talking about faith and stuff. And I guess at one point, he was going to get a divorce. He was addicted to porn. And he said that religion saved him. But really, he wasn't saved, because as we were talking more, like, he went from like one extreme to the other, which I understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. I kind of did that at one point. But he was really like in bondage to the law. And he couldn't see past literal scripture. Everything in the Bible he was taking literally. Okay, like sometimes I tell you guys, like, I take it in the ass, and I tell like all my gay followers that I love, I said, look, I'm not literally taking it in the ass. It's an expression, because sometimes, even though I love them, I stand for equal rights, gay people, like, they send like me crazy messages about having sex. I'm like, guys, come on, killing me. And so, like, same thing with Christian people. Like, sometimes they take everything in the Bible literal and not figuratively. Okay. And so, like, sometimes, like, when someone says taken in the ass, they're saying it like as a, a figure of speech. Okay. So it's like same thing in the Bible. Like, sometimes someone says something, like, I don't think they meant everything literally, but some people think they meant it literally. And so, like, he had this mind of dogma, and I could see, like, he was all worked up. I said, look, I said, do whatever you want, man. That's what I told the guy. I said, look, just do whatever you want. And then he said to me, well, you can't just tell people to do whatever they want, then they'll do whatever they want. I said, yes, I'm not trying to control anyone. But he was like, yeah, then what's the standard? Then everyone just does whatever they want? I said, look, brother. Then I was getting upset. I started to start getting at it. I said, look, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, as long as what anyone's doing is not hurting anyone, I think that's the basic rule of the Bible. Do whatever you want, as long as what you're doing is not hurting anyone. Okay. But he couldn't accept that. And so I stopped the conversation, because you get to a certain point in the conversation, there's no peace and serenity. There's contention and conflict, and you're just looking to pick at each other. And that's when I block people. So people often ask me, they come in here with a different profile, and they ask why I block someone else. Why are you I blocked you. You came in with a different profile. Why do I block people? Because they messed up my peace and serenity. And they say they value peace and serenity, but then they also partake in drama, and then they get mad at me, like I did something wrong. Hey, look. There's nothing to justify. When it comes to your peace and serenity, there's no justification needed. Look, the wind can blow to the east, and I can say, look, you know what? I don't want this person in my life anymore, and I have the right to do that. So do you. You have the right to come in and out of this chat room, to do what you want. And everyone, you have to understand that the freedom that you want and that you have to give to other people. You can't control people. Controlling relationships, and I partaked in a couple, and I learned my lesson. Controlling relationships are the opposite of peace and serenity. They're control and manipulation. Emotional abuse. That's dangerous. It's dangerous. Let's go back to the live comments. Cameron, just got back from Orlando. Hot as hell. Hey, better to be hot than cold. Florida right now is beautiful. It's a beautiful day today. 90s, sunny. Atlantic Ocean was gorgeous. A lot of open land. If you go to the Jersey Shore right now, there's so many umbrellas. It's like being in Manhattan, but on the beach. In Florida, there's so many open beaches. It's gorgeous. I'll never leave Florida, guys. I was talking to my mom today. And I said, Ma, I really want to see you. I feel bad I haven't seen you. I really want to get down here. She goes, yeah, not yet, Sam. And I said, Ma, I really want to see you. I said, but she goes, Sam, I don't even want you to come up here right now. He goes, because it's crazy up here. It's packed at the shore. And I know how you are. You would not have peace and serenity. And if I see you upset, then I'm going to be upset. And we've come to that understanding. When someone loves you, they don't want to see you in a bad environment because they see that you don't have peace and serenity. What's the ultimate wish of a parent? That their children have peace and serenity. Peace and serenity is a premium, guys. Forget the RV. Peace and serenity. Okay. Let's continue to read. Queen, I love you too, Sam, aka Pedal. Cameron, did I get blocked? Well, if you left this comment, you didn't. If you can't leave a comment, you did. And if you get blocked, hey, you can create another profile, and I may block that again. It all depends what people say. And just like you can too. Like, it's not like I'm a dictator. I'm a dictator in my life. My life is a dictatorship, not a democracy. So is yours. So we live in a democracy, and I thank God for that. Even though technically it's also run by electoral college, because democracy-wise, Hillary Clinton won the election. But with the electoral college, it was basically, a little bit of dogma. But I'm not mad at that. Trump's doing an overall good job. He's doing good. I hope everyone that voted for him is very happy. Stock market's all-time high, so you should be doing great. I'm complaining. Peace and serenity to you. Oh yeah, you like peace and serenity. I know. And yeah, I mean, look, if you have the right to allow people in your life, so do I. And I don't have to justify myself, either do you. So people I block, I don't look to hurt. I just say, you know what? This person's killing my peace and serenity. You know what? Let them go do something else. Not going to work for me. Pay Doll, my day was great. Pay Doll, I love you. Queen, you know you're my girl. President Saeed, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. How's it going? I'm doing the best I can. How you doing, man? Chaz, looking like you're in a queue. My Oz, my dude, where are you? Hey, man, I'm in Florida, man. Sometimes people ask me that, like, where are you? Guys, you're going to know I'm in Florida. I want some privacy. Where are you right now? What town you in? What's your real name? Is that Chaz, your real name? What town are you in? What's your phone number? What's your social security number? I'm in Florida. I'm outside. That's enough that people need to know. To keep your peace and serenity, you gotta have a level of privacy, guys. Okay, and it's really like some things are not that important. Again, people ask me some personal details. It really is like, does it really matter? People are nosy. Nosy people kills my peace and serenity. And they see, because here's why. Because the ironic thing is, they like their privacy. Okay. They got a fake name. They don't share a lot of information, but they want to know everything about your life. Okay. Now they can ask, and I can give them a smart comment. Why? Because hey, look, the ball bounces both ways. All right, so that's what it is, Tony. Glad I made the stream. And Sam, she got out. She's doing good. Good. Tony's girlfriend was in the hospital yesterday. Hospital is one of the worst places to be. One of the worst places to be. Totally kills your peace and serenity. So whatever you have to do, try to maintain your health. I think about that often on the road. I said, Sam, having your health is the major criteria of living on the road, because if you didn't have your health, I don't care what you have, you got to be indoors. And so value your health physically and mentally and emotionally. And again, if someone takes your emotional health, if they talk dirty to you, not in a good way, they talk dirty to you, but not in a good way, one sarcastic comment is enough at this point in my life where you're getting blocked. Because, like I said, whereas with my father, people I know in my personal life, whatever, I used to let comments go because I'm not a person of conflict. I'm a person of peace. And over time, the only thing that happens is that person does not get better. What happens is you give them an inch and they take a mile. That's what happens. I've seen it every time. And so you could say, look, maybe they weren't on their meds, or maybe they had a bad day. Maybe that's so. But look, the truth is, a lot of times, maybe they're just an asshole. And, they're not trying to really focus on peace and serenity. That's not a goal. Peace and serenity is boring to them. It's boring. And so once in a while, they need a little drama. So, to get drama, instead of doing self-care and feeling good about themselves and letting that endorphin hit their mind, they look for an easy way out by causing chaos. I know what type of people I'm dealing with. And that's why I don't want them in my life. You ain't gonna mess up my peace and serenity. Pay Doll. Good night, Sam. Seeing you, have a great night. I love you, Queen. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, Queen. Gilbert. Hello, Gilbert. Tony, how you been? Pay Doll's laughing. Thank you, Sam. Cameron. Jeep Renegade. Jeep Renegade's a great car. I had it for over 3 years now, 125,000 miles. Would I get it again? Yes. After my Jeep goes, what will I get next? Probably still a Toyota Prius. But I have no regrets with my Jeep Renegade. It's been a great purchase. It's been a great vehicle for the Nomad life. Uh, Petty Doll, aka Queen. Yes, you can still call me Queen. Thank you. And I like that. Thank you, Tony. Sam, I need a new tour van. My Astro Cargo, it's on its last leg. Any ideas? I think if you're going to look into a van, you have to ask yourself one major question, and that will eliminate a lot of things. Because anytime you have a question in life, it's like having a problem on a SAT or something. It's like you have A, B, C, and D. So what you're taught in school, the number one thing I learned in school that's valuable is that when you're having a question or a problem, you do process of elimination. Because out of your choices to answer A, B, C, or D, there's like two of them that are totally like not worth it. So the number one thing I would say when it comes to picking out a van, you have to ask yourself, do you want to stand up in the van or are you okay with crouching down? Because a high top van is a whole different ball game. And so that's the first question. And my answer would be, I would personally not want to get a high top van at this time at my age. So I would say a Ford Transit Connect. If you did want to get a high top van, then you have to look at your options and your price range, but they get well above $40,000 for most of them. I mean, if you buy used, that's a whole different story. Yeah, so that would be the question. Do you want to stand up in it or not? If you don't want to stand up in it, I would just get you a Ford Transit Connect. You get a brand new one for about $22,000. Pay doll. How you been doing, Tony? Pay doll, aka Queen. It's Queen, I know. Black Sheep, what's up, man? If you could reverse one decision you made in your life, what would it be? I wouldn't say a decision. I would say the last year of my dog's life, I had too much stress on me and I could have been more patient. So what would I have done different? I wish I was downsized earlier in life because I had take care of a house. I had a very demanding job at that time. The position I was working was very demanding. My dog was getting old. I had a lot on my plate and I was frustrated. And there was just days I was never abusive, but I would say in my mind I was abusive. My dog, I think she felt when I was stressed out. And like I say, when you're stressed out, the people who love you, they can see it. And I feel like I failed her some days where I probably just should have came home and been more patient, more kind. And again, not that I did anything abusive, but you could just emotionally be abusive without, doing something, So the biggest, I don't want to say regret because it's hard to say that, but I would say the biggest thing that I would probably reverse is that I would have downsized even earlier than I did. And I would have lived below my means even earlier if I did. Because even if I would have still failed with risky investments or different things like that, or taking chances in life, when you're living below your means, which means you still have an income, so you still have to either work or have some type of recurring income, then you have more room to deal with stress. But when you're living, I don't want to say necessarily paycheck to paycheck, but when you have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of house to take care of, demanding job, having a dog and having a full-time job, and sometimes working overtime. And at that time I was doing side work on the weekends and then coming home to a dog and having all the other stresses of life. That's demanding. Like there's some people that they sit at home all day, whether they're on disability or whatever, they got like two dogs and they think like having a dog is the greatest thing. Yeah, when you don't have a job and if you're fully retired and you could just spend all day with your dog, then that's a different type of life. Okay. But for most people, if you have to go out there and work and stay, do things during the day, you don't have time to take care of a dog. I mean, it's very demanding. And so that's what I would say. I wish I would have downsized earlier. I'm thankful for all my experiences, and I was definitely, say one of my failures was I wish I would have been a little bit more patient with my dog at the end. There's nothing I could do. I mean, I love my dog. I treat my dog, as good as I treat her pretty great. But the last year was very rough because the hardest part about life, whether it's a dog, is that when someone you love is sick and suffering and just dying, there's nothing you can do. We're all going to die. There's nothing you can do about it. And when you see someone suffering and there's nothing you can do, there's a frustration because you're helpless. And there's definitely not peace and serenity. It's a sickening feeling to watch someone slowly die. Like, it's one thing if like someone just like automatically dies. It's like, it's horrible still, but to see someone slowly suffer, it takes a part of your soul. Because, You can't buy, like buying them a house won't make them young. Like, getting them a dog treat won't make, there's some things that like money and things can't cure. And like I always tell you guys, if you're ever hesitating in life, just remember you're terminally ill. No one diagnosed you with it yet. You're gonna die. You're terminally ill, guys. So if there's something you want to do in life responsibly, start to make decisions to do it, because you're gonna die. It's a guarantee. It's not an if. It's when, and no one knows when. So even more reason to get going with your life. So good question, Tony. Oh, okay. Girlfriend just got out of the hospital. See, that's what I mean. It's like, that's why I don't even want a girlfriend, because let's say you meet a great girlfriend or a great boyfriend, and they treat you well. They're not a psychopath. They're a very nice person. But then they get sick, and you got to watch them suffer. Now, thankfully, it sounds like his girlfriend got out of the thing, but you got to deal. I don't want to deal with that. I mean, there's nothing you can do either. All you can do is sit there in the hospital. It's a horrible feeling, guys. I've been there. Horrible feeling. And then he goes, I just got out of the hospital. Then I go home and my van's leaking oil. See, that's what happens. And then that's how eventually you get frustrated with your girlfriend or frustrated with someone, because you got too much on your plate. And that's why I never want to go through that again. It's horrible. But let's continue to read. Good comment here. And he was at the hospital all night with his sick girlfriend. Then he got home. Then he sees his van leaking oil. And let's continue to read on the driveway. And then other things I can't control. Great. And then he goes, Queen, how you been? Still coloring? I think Queen figured out life, man. She's coloring, doing a coloring book every day. So, Queen, all I can tell you is stay single. Don't go dating a psychopath. I don't care how good he does coloring. Because let me tell you something. Just stay single, Queen. Dennis. My dad basically summed up his views on a peaceful, serene life as sometimes to get around the rules, you got to go beyond the rules. I agree with that. Milano told me that one time, and I agree with that. There's a gray area, and I agree with that. Now, look, the Patriots, they spied on people's defense, right? I mean, they deflated the football. There's a little gray area. I've learned a lot from his words. Peace and serenity to you. Hey, amen, brother. And I think your father's got wisdom there. I think there's a level of truth to that. Cameron, tips for long road trips: pack less. There's a Walmart everywhere. Pack less. Have a credit card with a good limit. Have at least $100 to $200 in cash, because there's some things sometimes you can't buy a credit card with. Pack light. Have $100 to $200 in cash. Have a credit card ready. Hopefully you have roadside assistance on your car insurance. If you don't, just be mindful. If you ever need that, know where your spare tire is. And I think that'll give you the basic foundation. And have a phone. Keep your phone fully charged up as much as possible. Your phone is your greatest resource on the road. You YouTube, Google. You Google search where the local Starbucks is, where the local Planet Fitness is. And that's a perimeter. Those are your resources. Planet Fitness is open 24/7. So how do you, you're traveling to a new town. How do you find out where the Planet Fitness is? You don't pull over to the gas station like the old days. You put it in your phone. You search in the phone, and then you hit GPS directions. So definitely be careful traveling in areas that don't have cell phone reception. Like when I was in Vermont, it was horrible. I was up in the mountains, and I had no cell phone reception. I was lost for like 3 hours. So be mindful when you're getting into an area where you don't have cell phone reception. Keep your phone charged. Use it to get the closest Planet Fitness and Starbucks, and then you go from there. Good job. Gilbert, what's up, man? Hey, Sammy, how you been? I've been pretty good overall, and I want to say I'm thankful. How you been, Tony? Sam, Ocean City, like that, packed with sweat hogs. Yeah, I've been to Ocean City. Decent area in South Jersey. Oh, you talking about Ocean City, Maryland? Who have no business in the bikini. Yeah, hey, look, man. Big people gotta go out there too. And there's nothing wrong with that. But hey, look, it is what it is. Look, a beautiful person to look at is beautiful. A nasty person to look at is, it's not attractive. But you also get to a certain point in life as you get older that you see someone with a 2-inch shaped body, and you learn two things. One is the most beautiful women I've dated have been the most insecure, and they've physically been very beautiful, but emotionally they've been a burden. Okay, but that being said, I'm not going to be disingenuous and say I want to date ugly chicks, because I don't want to date anyone, because there's no winning. That's the bottom line. There's no peace and serenity, and I'm not willing to give that up to date somebody. I'll do it for work. Why? Because I want an income. I'd rather just have a sock, You guys know what I do with a sock. Let's not repeat that. But, and then like, even with my dog, I remember when I got my dog, she was a puff. My dog was a beautiful boxer, beautiful dog, great markings. And look, as beautiful as my dog was, boxers have a lean body, very lean, a lot of muscle. But as they get older, just like people, their body fades. Okay, that's why a lot of the old chicks, they love that Ed Sheeran song, like when your knees get old and you basically fall apart, I'll still love you. Yeah, let's see how that works out. What a disaster. But no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how toned your body is, you're terminally ill. And I've seen the most beautiful people get old. And yeah, they can be like J-Lo into their 50s. But guys, when you get into your 60s and 70s, you look like crap. I mean, let's be honest. And it's just what it is. We all do. We get old. Our skin wrinkles. Our body, your soul still looks great. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, I like physical beauty like everyone else, but it's not enough to trap me into a place where I don't have peace and serenity. Okay? So make a mental note of that. Good job. Gina, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Heart emoji, 2 thumbs up. 3 thumbs up. Thank you, brother. Sal, what's up, man? Are you sleeping in the vehicle? And is it? I don't know what you're saying, but yeah, man, full time. That's what I do. Woohoo. What's up, brother? Detroit's in the house. Sam, I took a 4-hour nap today. All right, that was a bad idea, but let's continue to read. Just woke up an hour ago. You're going to be up all night, total psychopath style. Needed to get some time. Now I'm going to get some beer. Hey, brother, I understand. I love you. Go ride that jet ski. Gilbert. Evening, everyone. Tony. Sam, I'm not sure I've heard you speak about your retirement plans. I am sure you will be able to retire early. Only if I find a way to generate income on a monthly basis, because you would have to save a couple million if you're going to retire early at least, because the average person spends $2,000-$3,000 a month minimum, okay, to pay for everything, including health care, okay? So, $3,000 a month times 12, 36,000 times 10, 360. So right now, if I retired, I'm 40. Average life expectancy is 80. I'm 39, but let's just say I'm 40. So I need at least 40 more years. So what's 36,000 times 40? You do the math. We're talking millions of dollars. And that's, most people probably may even live past 80. And that's just basic. That doesn't include like you have to get a new car, something serious happens. So look, I hope to retire early through YouTube, through personal investments. But I've worked since I've been legally able to work at 16 or 17. I'm 39 now. I hope I could retire early, but chances are I'll probably be working till 62 or 67 but again, I'm trying my best. But that's the reality, because I'm not going to live in poverty just to get by. I'm not going to go if I can help it. If I have the ability to work, and if I don't have other sources of income, I'm going to work, not because I want to work, but because I don't want to go to the gas station, okay, and put $5 in there, okay, or have to worry about what's the total going to be if I fill the tank, because I've been there. That's not the type of life I want to live. I don't want to go to Starbucks and go, oh no, I can't afford a bagel. I don't want to live that life, guys. If you got no choice, you got no choice. But if you have a choice that you could work and you could live a better quality life, to me, I want to live a better quality life. I don't want to live in poverty. I don't. So, like I say, some people, they don't want to work. They don't want to, they want to retire right now. And I understand that. And work's not fun. Look, hey, I hope everyone can retire early, but I'm not going to live in poverty just so I can retire early. That's not a blessing to me. I don't have peace and serenity. I have peace and serenity, and I'll retire early if I have sustainable income and enough in savings, and I can pay my health insurance. I can have all the proper things in place that I could take that risk, because that's what it is to retire early, risk. Because once you're out of the workforce for a year, 2 years, the first thing an employer wants to see when you come back into the workforce is, what have you been doing for the past couple years? And you could tell them, hey, look, I've been retiring, taking naps for 4 hours and riding my jet ski on Lake Michigan. And they're going to say, yeah, look, yeah. It's just like everything else. Once you stop doing something for a while, you can go back and do it, but then you got to start maybe at a lower position. You got to get your feet back under you. Everything in life is about momentum. And sometimes we get kicked on our ass. There's nothing we can do about it. But if you can help it, keep the momentum going until you don't have to run on the treadmill. Now, I've made conscious, intentional decisions to downsize my life, And that's why I stayed in New Jersey for 2 years and slept in my car in the winter, because I didn't want to just start with a new company, with a new job in Florida, because, then you start all over again. I was, but look, if you can build a life around living where you want, living below your means, and especially if you're single with no kids and no pets, then, you got a lot of options. Okay. But you're probably still going to have to work. I can't tell you how many people, especially from up north, especially in the winter, they say, Sam, what do I need to do to go to Florida? And they still don't have a job. I said, look, man, just get a job at Walmart if you got nothing going on. There's plenty of Walmarts in Florida you can transfer. Just show up every day. But that's not enough for them. Or they can't pass the drug test for Walmart. Some people think I'm on drugs and they can't pass the drug test to Walmart. I mean, that's a total disgrace. All right, let's take a hydration break. Woohoo. Ford Transit Connect, long wheelbase and great van, lots of room, decent price. Chocolate Nomad Vlogs. What's up, man? Just got done with a hike in Boulder, Colorado. Okay, love and respect to you, brother. Peace and quiet reflection, good for your soul. Amen. I agree with that, brother. Good to see you. Thank you, man. Tony, I don't need a high top van. Thanks, Woohoo. Okay, there you go. That eliminated that process of elimination. Tony, I just need a room for horns, drums, because he's into the creative arts saxophone band. All that crap I got to bring to get the gigs. Yep, it's a business investment. So having a car for your business is probably a tax write-off. But you can get right off the depreciation. But I'll go to the dealership this weekend. 22 isn't bad, and I can get it for 20 write-off. Yes, a write-off. But again, a write-off is you're still going to probably spend more than you get in deductions. And just make a mental note, guys, 5 years is a long time. I got a 5-year loan on a Jeep Renegade, 0 interest. And so I said, with 0 interest, you can't beat that. But it's amazing, I'm 3 years, and 5 years is a long time. And the average car payment in America right now is about $500 per month. And most people, they're living off, their monthly budget is not sustainable for that. Ryan B. Hello, hey, Ryan. What's up, man? Sal, laughing. All right. Tony, you're right. Don't lug your whole house with you, Sam. I learned that real quick. Get a gas card. You just don't have to blow all your cash. Make sure you spare is keeping air. Just lessons learned. No, I agree. Look, the number one thing on the road is not gas money. It's going to be food. And if you don't realize that, you haven't lived on the road. Food is going to be your biggest cost. Now, just like it is for most people in their house, if they do their budget, most people do not know what they spend per month. They don't. They just know either they have just enough to get by, and that's it. And I did that for years, so I'm not judging on, but I'm saying that's how I woke up one day. I said, I got to figure out where my money's going. Even if you're running a deficit, you should know how much you're spending generally and specifically and on what things. Most people don't know. Again, 80% of society live in paycheck to paycheck. So 80% of people that come in here and they talk about money, look, that's statistics. They're totally in the dark. Sal, is it hard to find place? Sal, what do you think, man? Have you watched any of my videos? Have you watched any other YouTube things? So it's like, I got a whole playlist, 1,000+ videos about that. And, there's more than 1,000+ videos about that on. And it's like, I understand the question. And it's, and I understand like now why, athletes get frustrated when they go to the podium after the game because like the reporters ask the same questions. But it's like, I also have to say, love and respect to you, but also have to say like, when that information is out there and you ask the same question, like, I think there's certain things that you have to just accept. And once you get the answers, like, you just have to accept it. Parking is your biggest issue. Are there places? Yes. But are you comfortable sleeping in a Walmart parking lot, in a truck stop parking lot, in a campground? I've done all those things, and that's what I do. But the answer never changes, and it never gets easier. So you're not living in the comfort of your home. You're going to have cops maybe knock on your door once in a while. You're going to have drunk people knock on your door once in a while, not all the time. But all the time, you're never going to have electricity. You're never going to have running water. You're never going to have a bed. You're never going to wake up and put Hot Pockets in a microwave and then, masturbate. So, look, it's a different lifestyle. It's sacrifice. Okay, it may be fun initially, but it's sacrifice, and that's why most people can't do it. Most people are too mentally unstable to do it because living on the road is a lot of variable. Like even today, I went to a new town. There's a new Starbucks, new people, and like there's little frustrations because there's new ways I have to adapt, and that's mentally challenging. Okay, and most people, especially people that struggle mentally, if they're not in a fixed routine with everything in the same place every day, they completely lose it and they have no peace and serenity. So what I could tell you is you have to know yourself. Okay, and some basic questions I think you have to ask yourself, and and the information is out there. You have to learn to search. Seek and you shall find. Gilbert, Tony, I have been getting by, going on my third month in the van now, but I just lost my god sister. Life has been a little tough. Third month in the van, living away from your home. Like I seen somebody like on a YouTube channel today, and they were like giving like this advice about how they live in a car. It didn't look like they lived in a car. Their car looked like a whole setup, and they were like, "How long you been doing it?" Like a few months. It looks like a big show, because look, living on the road, what I've seen 2.5 years doing it, there's nothing like a lot of people show it on YouTube. It's nothing like it. It's what I show. I show unedited, basic stuff, which it is. There's nothing like glorious. Like, what is it? It's this right here. It's 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Friday. You're outside, and that's it. There's no like music and drones flying over the head and magical things. It's just regular nighttime. Okay? This is living in your car. Like, you're living outside most of your time. There's like, which is great. I love it. But I'm just trying to tell you, like if you see a video with slow motion and different angles and like people walking and like, the magical like time lapse, that's not reality. That's a gimmick for entertainment. Okay? So the reality is you're going to be doing the same thing you're doing now because you're taking yourself with you, but you're not going to be in a house. You're going to be outdoors, or you're going to be sleeping in your car. So, a lot of people can't accept that because they want some magical answer. It's not magical. It's just life, Tony. Okay, but oh man, I'm sorry for your loss, brother. I'll pray for you, and I'm proud of you for getting out there. Dennis, Sam, you've been building your future income with your vlogs. At some point, you'll realize that people need the gems you uncovered, especially the young. You will write your future. Good job. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for your encouragement. There's no guarantee, though. And look, I may help people, but people don't need me. The answers are inside you. If I could spark something, that's great. But you don't really, you need people in life. I've needed people in life, but look, people just spark you. You have to do the work. So, life will go on without me, guys. Like if I'm not here, just like life went on without me with other people. And other people in my life. So life continues to go on. Okay. No one is greater than the other. Thank you, Dennis. I'm not speaking down to your comment. I'm thanking you for the compliment, but I have an honest evaluation of life. Life goes on without any of us. Okay. And so, yes, but I believe we can make a positive impact by sharing our life. And I do show you that consistency over time does build things, and the grace of God. I've built this YouTube channel from nothing. Hopefully it continues to grow, but I don't count on it because it's still a minimum wage job. That's what I get paid. If I divide the hours I do versus what I get paid per month, it's minimum wage. Okay, so I made more doing DoorDash for a month. Some people can't accept that. And I'm up here every night. I share my most intimate thoughts, sacrifice my privacy. I'm thankful for it. But what I'm trying to tell you is it's like any other job. You have to show up. And most people I've seen with a YouTube channel, they start off like a ball out of fire, and then they stop showing up because there's no guarantee you're going to make anything. And then even when you do make something, you're still making minimum wage, and you can't even survive off it. You'd have to have another job. This is a supplemental income. Now, eventually, could it blow up? And are there exceptions where you can make it a full-time thing? Yes. And I'm hopeful for that, but you don't bank on that. You take it for what it is. It's a supplemental income, maybe. And hopefully, progressively over time, you can build it. But you're not going to build it the way you want if you depend on it, because you're going to be like everyone else. You're going to be a drone. You're going to be pandering to the audience. And there's nothing wrong. There's a time and place for that. Like, not everyone should be me. And I'm not saying my videos are God's gift, because they're just my style. But for me, part of YouTube was, yes, a side hustle, but it was also using my creative gift on my terms. Like, when I was in a church and I would speak in their church, I would have to speak on their terms. A lot of times they would say, Sam, you have to read from the script. You keep reading off the script. I said, I can't read that shit. That's not how I talk. And so there was a little conflict there, but I had to accept It was their house, their rules. So part of me doing YouTube was I do want it to be a side hustle, but I also want to do it on my terms. I want to do it my way. I want to be myself. Same thing with my life. That's why I simplify my life, because I want to live life on my terms. Now, there's some things I do in life that aren't on my terms. With my job and different things, I have to conform. Why? Because you have to survive. You have to thrive. So these are my thoughts on that. Gilbert, thank you, Tony. I'm a little messed up, but I'm okay. Thank you, Tony. I know better. It's searing pain that just dulls. It never goes away. Just remember the good times, brother. Gina, I don't like payments. I prefer to pay it all one payment and forget about it. Monthly payments make me anxious. I can understand that, but for me, what makes me more anxious is not having an emergency fund, not having a savings account. So, and most people don't have more than $1,000, and I didn't for many years. But let's just say you had $20,000 in a savings account, and I know that sounds like a lot of money for some people. I understand. I've been there. But let's just say you had that, and let's say you bought a brand new Ford Transit Connect and you negotiated for $20,000. I think, in my opinion, you'd be foolish to pay for that cash and had nothing in your savings account, or put $19,000 down. You know, your number one asset, if the shit hits the fan, is your savings account. Because if you have a paid off car but you don't have gas, you're broke. If you have a paid off car and you get in a car accident, and you got to stay at a hotel, or if you got to do something, you don't have a savings account, you got to go run home to mommy and daddy. So a savings account is your best insurance policy. Now, the hardest part about a savings account is not touching it. The hardest part about a bag of potato chips is not dipping in there and eating all the potato chips. So an emergency fund, the hardest part about it is not touching it, okay? But that's what it is. It's your emergency fund, your savings account. Now, if you want to have a risky investments, if you want to have a brokerage account or different things like that, that's fine. But that has to be separate than your savings account. Your savings account is your ticket to independence. And how do you build up your savings account? The only way I've ever built it up was working, okay? Because my parents, workers their whole life. I've been a worker my whole life. I didn't inherit any trust fund. So what I could tell you is your savings account is your way to independence. And the only way I've been able to build up a savings account is working. So if you have another way, I'm not mad at you, but I haven't seen any other way. So, unless you're born with money. Yeah, that answers that. Sal, yes, I started looking into it though. Okay, so what'd you find out? Tony, just remember she's in God's hands now, brother. There's no pain up there. I hear that, Tony. I'm not paying 20 grand off, but that's not feasible whatsoever. A lot of studio time and a lot of living expenses. Gilbert, yes, Sammy, I live in my van. I have now for 3 months. This is my home and has been for the last 3 months. Okay. Gilbert, thumbs up. Nothing but love for you, Tony. Bland, what's up, brother? Boone in the house, damn it. Blanton, good to see you, brother. Shout out to you, Tom Hanks, and your other friend that you told me was watching me on the low. I forgot his name. You said he was in Florida too. All I can tell you guys, like I say, when you're young and you're in college, you guys are hard workers. You're going to figure out life, but you're probably not going to be friends in 10 years from now. 10 years from now, you're going to meet each other, and you're going to say, "Remember, we used to watch that crazy guy on YouTube?" And then YouTube's going to be like a thing of the past. We're going to be doing like some other type of shit, but enjoy each moment. And you guys get life. You guys are working hard. These guys are working at Pepsi, and they're going to college. So they're working, and they're full-time students. Okay, and they're making it happen. So I'm not mad at that. Do what you do, Blanton. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for leaving a comment, man. I got love for you guys. Tony, oh no, it's the Boom Boys. Those are guys, good guys, man. I like those guys. And nothing but love to Gilbert. Where you parking isn't in NYC very expensive, Dennis. I understand. But people tend to view minimum wage as not enough. Yeah, but guess what's not enough? Not working. Because minimum wage, you get something. No work, you get nothing. So, and look, if you make minimum wage and if you show up consistently for a year, you won't always make minimum wage. So I look, hey, I'm a proponent of $15 an hour. But no matter what you do, you still have to show up. And if you think like minimum wage isn't enough, what's the answer? Not working? That's not enough for me. And then you're never going to, like, if you show up for minimum wage and you show up for a year, you're guaranteed, like, you're going to progressively get more. If you say, no, I'm not going to work, I'm going to file for whatever, and you're going to get $1,000 a month, that's never going to go up. And you're never going to make more than that. And your whole life that's what it is. And some people, that's what they should do. But for me, I don't have that mindset. And they're correct until doing what they love pays the minimum wage 24 hours a day. This is what creativity shines. I hear you, brother Dennis. I love you, man. Carmen, love, heart emoji. Hello, Sam. What's up, man? Love, all caps. When you talk slow, well, thank you. I talk slow. I talk fast. And sometimes, look, I come in here an hour. I'm all fired up. But most of the day, I'm very calm. This is what it is, you know. But it's all part of a mindset, okay? Because in my mindset, even when I'm calm, like, you know, I can temper myself. Like, guys, like when I'm working or when I'm doing something, I'm not screaming about, you know, wearing no underwear. You know what I mean? Even like some of you psychopaths, like you're just going around like being psycho. But not to mock them. But what I'm trying to tell you is, look, guys, you have to have the ability to dial it down, okay? And now some people don't. But the worst type of people are they dial it down and they try to act like they're very calm and whatever, and they're complete psychopaths. Like someone asked me the other night, my man Dylan, Sam, one of my friends watched your video, thought you were on drugs. The reality is, I've never been strung out on drugs, never done drugs other than weed and alcohol, and even that was when I was young. The reality is I have no criminal record, no drug use, and there's other YouTubers that they have a cat, they talk nice, they talk calm, they have editing, and they got a criminal history of domestic dispute, and they drink alcohol. And even old famous ones, they've been divorced twice. They have children that don't talk to them. So especially in the Nomad community, like I may sound loud and boisterous and this and that, but guys, I got no criminal record. I eat a plant-based diet. I do no drugs. And some of these other guys who talk nice, they got a cat. All the old women love them because they talk slow and they're gentle. They've been divorced. They got domestic disputes. They get drunk at night. So, you know, but that's people are deceived because they say, oh, if this guy talks slow and he likes cats, he's got to be a great, and maybe he is a great person. But look, maybe he's a scumbag, okay? And maybe the old guy who's pandering because he's a huge capitalist salesman, maybe there's a reason he's been divorced and his own children don't want to speak to him. But people don't think that. It's, oh, this guy's screaming in the ear. He's not a nice guy. And that's why they go astray. And, you know, that's why Hillary acid washed her emails. Because, you know, she's a psychopath too, Gilbert. Hit the thumbs up button, people. I appreciate that. Lan, what's up, man? Aaron's back now. He's back in North Carolina. North Carolina's a complete disaster. But let's continue to read. He wants to move there. Well, hell yeah. Get the hell out of North Carolina, man. I remember I stopped in North Carolina's visiting center. And they had a big-ass picture of Billy Graham. Billy Graham's the old evangelist. And I said, oh, shit. Like, that was their claim to fame. Billy Graham and a big-ass mountain and some army guy because they got, like, a fort going there. I said, you know what they got in Boca Raton Welcome Center? Big-ass palm tree, a Latino MILF, and some orange juice. What do I want to be? I want to be in Boca Raton, guys. North Carolina's a complete disaster. Let's continue to read. And it gives him a big-time inspiration. Well, he should. And he doesn't mind the sweat. Well, brother, get your ass down the floor, Tony. There's always room for improvement in life. I agree with that. And advancement at work. I agree with that. Stephanie, what's up, man? Hey, Sam, what's up? How was your day? Day was good. How was your day? All right, guys. I think we got to all live comments. And I think we talked about the main message, which is your peace and your serenity. It's top priority, okay? And what you're going to learn in life, a lot of people who claim it's their priority, it's not. Drama is their priority, okay? And they like to indulge in drama. They like to throw some contentious comments out there because they like to fire the crowd up, okay? But they talk nice. They talk slow, okay? And then if someone else talks to them the way they talk to you, they would completely lose it. So they want other people to talk to them nice, but they can talk to other people however they want. They shouldn't be in your life. And you should never justify why you block someone on social media or your real life. Why? Because, guys, your peace and serenity is your business. Okay, you're the CEO of your life, and your life is a dictatorship, not a democracy. Okay. Never forget that. Gilbert, he was in parking at Walmart, Planet Fitness to airport, but I live in Queens. Shout to Queens. Yeah, shout to AOC. Okay. Amazon's still coming to New York City. They're not coming to Alabama. They're not coming to West Virginia. Why is Amazon headquarters still coming to New York City? Because that's where the money is, okay? Just like California, that's where the money is. The money isn't in North Carolina. The money isn't in West Virginia. It's not in South Carolina. It's in New York and California. If you look at the money, the GDP, the jobs, the most concentrated places are New York and California, okay? Donald Trump is from New York City, okay? Never forget it. So let me tell you something, guys. I hate New Jersey, but if I didn't grow up there, my career would not be as good. So New Jersey has a lot of career opportunities, a lot more than Kentucky, a lot more than Iowa. So what I could tell you, guys, is the money is concentrated basically in two areas in the United States of America, New York and California. Are there jobs anywhere else? Yeah. Look, Texas got some things popping. There's some things popping in other places. But most of the population is concentrated in those areas. And so Amazon said, look, we actually, because they bashed AOC because she wanted to tax Amazon because Amazon pays no taxes and they wanted subsidies to bring their headquarters to New York. And AOC caught a lot of shit because they said, well, we're not going to come to New York because you guys are too liberal with your taxes. You won't give us subsidies. They still came to New York. Why? Because that's where the money is. Okay. Companies go where the money is. Okay. If UBI was given to people, you know what they do? They go to Walmart. Okay. They spend their money. Be the biggest, it'd be a bigger, like it'd be more rocket fuel than giving corporations subsidies, and all they do is hoard the money. And the stock market goes up, and the person shopping at the Dollar Tree still loses their mind when the air freshener rings up for $2 because 80% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck, even with the stock market at an all-time high. Okay, that's the truth. Bland's sticking up for North Carolina. I'm not mad at you. Let's see what Bland got to say. He said, North Carolina actually has some big cities. All right. For great comments, I'm not mad at you. You're right. You're doing the right thing for sticking up for North Carolina. Thank you. I respect it. He goes, Charlotte, Raleigh, you're right. And Greensboro, you're right. But I agree with what you said, and I agree with what you said too, brother. Good job speaking your truth. I agree with you, brother. Ninth largest state. I'm not mad at you, man. Bland, I love you. You're a good man. Your hard work, I love you and everyone in Boone, man. You're good guys, man. All right, guys. Brian, too, good to see you, brother. All right, guys. Did the best I could. Stay positive. Keep pushing forward. Value your peace and serenity. Do I think Florida will sink, TZ? Look, if it does sink, I'd rather be in Florida than West Virginia. I'd rather sink in Florida than die in a coal mine in West Virginia. All right? So, TZ, I think that answered your question. Good job. Shout out to Boone. I love you guys, man. You stay positive out there.